reiterate what the gentleman just said, most of us are homeowners, and that's what we want to see. It's zoned townhomes, and correct me if I'm wrong, sir, could you build townhomes on this property and make a profit? Single-family townhomes and sell them to make a profit?
Yes, we could.
Why don't you do that?
Finance?
Well, the point I'm trying to make is, why do we even have to change the zoning? If you can make a profit building single-family homes on this 14 acres, why don't you do it? Or why don't the owner do it? I'm thinking possibly it's because, I don't want to answer my own question, but it's because the people that are selling property want more than what it's worth. And the only way they can make a profit is to rezone it for high density, which I understand, but that's not what we want. And I didn't want to stop you from coming to it. Sure.
Well, the developer owners, they're free to, it's a public comment, so they're free to answer that if they want to. I just want to make it clear from the town's perspective that we understand that they're the owners of that property, and we've set up a zoning ordinance in town that we require owners to submit to, and they've gone through the proper process and have every right to apply for this zoning on their property, just as anybody in here has a right to change the zoning on their
I
property.
agree with that.
So,
My other question would be,
certainly welcome to answer that. I just wanted to make clear from the town's perspective they're acting.
thank you. But my other point is being this. If you're asking us to basically subsidize this property, that's what you're asking us to do, subsidize the property so you can sell it and make a profit. If you can make a profit where it's at, legal where it's at, build your townhomes, we welcome those new residents in as single-family members. And I'm not going to take any more time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Wait, this up? Councilman?
Thank you for the opportunity to come and ask some questions. There's some information out there I'd just like to see if we can clarify. Has the developer made any commitment to spend $800,000 for Point Vista, to improve Point Vista? I thought I heard him say earlier today that they would be responsible for half of the cost. Half of the road?
And let's define half the road. It's half the road that defines the project. So it wouldn't be Point Vista from, say, Turbeville going south to the lake. So it would be the piece that's, right there by the project itself, which would be yeah.
So is the other half the town's responsibility?
Well,
cost?
you already basically got 2 lanes there already.
It's already built.
So it's already built. So what they would do is they would extend and make it bigger.
Drainage. Has there been any commitment from the developer to resolve existing town drainage problems, issues?
Mr. Thompson, at this point, it's all preliminary. There's several engineers here tonight, but there's no, the drainage that's currently in the town that we'll work on versus what their proposed project is. There's nothing at this point. It's very premature. They've got to get past this stage, and they're not going to go ahead and build major drainage plans as developers and put that money into it if the project doesn't go. So at this stage,
Still preliminary, so the information's out there that they made that commitment. At this point, it's not correct.
That's correct.
There's also some information about $70,000 per year income to live in there, but he's already stated tonight that it's 3 times the income as it relates to the rent for their application. So that answer.
Could I make a comment on that?
Let him finish.
Made a comment about there's a 3 to 4 year turnover ratio at your existing properties. Is that a statistic that's documented somewhere, or is it just internal?
No, we have documentation on all
And I didn't quite understand the 12.9 apartments per acre. I think we have in the comprehensive plan it's less than that. Is that correct? Or?
That's the 12.9. I think is what they're applying for to put on that piece of property. Is that right?
So that would be more than what's in the current comprehensive plan?
The plan itself still states that would be commercial/townhomes in that area. So by going through this process of zoning, they're proposing the 12.9.
So not apples to apples.
with the retention pond. So it's a complete, yeah, it's not apples to apples, exactly what you said.
They made a comment about their contract does not, well, I made a comment, their contract does not trump state law. I mean, if the state says 3 people can live in a 2-bedroom apartment,
Yeah, they're gonna have to abide by whatever building code standards or whatever. And
their personal contract, business contract doesn't trump any state law. And final question, there's information out there that the town possibly could stop. There's multiple opportunities in this construction process that we would have the opportunity, we being the council, to stop this process, the construction. As a developer, I mean, is that something that you normally sign up for, to make that investment to where you don't?
I don't quite understand the question, Bobby. What do you mean stop the process? As far as when
Adhere to our standards.
According to your criteria.
Oh, so if they weren't abiding by our standards,
Yeah.
then, yeah, at the very end of the project, there would be no CO issued,
Correct.
which means they couldn't rent to anyone in that complex. You know, the statement was brought up about inspections and so forth.
Right, that's only according to the minimum standard.
Right,
that
that-
we have in
which is-
place today.
Which is the old that's in place today.
Right, which is.
So, at that point, during those inspection processes, and as everybody may or may not know, the town, we do not do our own inspections anymore in this town. They're actually done outside of the town, a big company that does that knows all the laws and all everything, and abides by our ordinances that we have in place. So that keeps us out of the loop. Part of that is passed through, a lot of it's passed through. It keeps costs down low, it keeps inspectors that know what they're doing the right thing for the town and for the citizens, especially if you're going to move into a home or build a pool or those kinds of things. So, Lance, are you going to say something to that? Or?
I was just going to state, when there was a contention made that we could stop the project, I mean, we could stop it if they were not abiding by some specific rule we have in place. I mean, we obviously can't be arbitrary about just stopping a project if we decide we don't like it. Like I said, if the zoning is approved as multifamily, as long as they follow all the rules, they can build what a multifamily allows.
Does that answer that?
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Clark, Councilman Clark, you had something?
I just wanted to clarify something real quick. When I had a conversation with somebody today, and I mentioned the $70,000 figure because I thought that I'd heard that in the P&Z meeting, and that was a question that I was waiting for you to see if you talked about that, Mr. McCutcheon, to see what the salary standards. So that was an error. That if they, obviously from what they've said tonight, they require, what'd you say, 3 times the rent?
And we can't really allow income to enter into these.
I understand. I'm just going to clarify where that was not correct. And I think I may have been the source of that, and I wanted to just clarify that.
Okay. Thank you. Question from over here? Roger? Mr. Baker?
Nick Pickle, 219 Deer Park, in Glenview subdivision. I've got more of a suggestion than a question, believe it or not. We all know there's a grading issue with this, and the retention pond issue and everything like that. Has anybody ever looked into, or has anybody ever worked on using retention pond waters for the lawn sprinklers and things like that for the subdivision, and that to help lower that level of water before the next rain? I guess the next way, is that practical?
Very practical. Yes. And we would entertain doing that also.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Baker? On this side, Mr. Hawks?
Thank you, John. Check. Okay, there we go. I took some notes and one, two. There we go.
I'm sorry I forgot my Mr. Microphone.
I can holler.
We tested for everybody gets here, and this always happens. Go ahead.
To provide a little background for the folks here, after our P&Z meeting earlier in the month, you and I had a conversation about some more big picture items about this project. And I've been thinking about it, I've also asked the architect some questions relative to the size of the project, which would impact its viability. Also asked some questions about the possibility of putting it on the east side of town. And I wanted to emphasize that one of the main reasons in my mind when I voted a couple of weeks ago about rejecting the project was because it's an apartment. Townhomes mean that we have people that are more involved in the community, folks that have skin in the game, as the old political saying goes, and therefore I think they make better folks and better neighbors, okay? And that was very important to me in making the decision. I like the hell out of your project, but as an apartment, I didn't feel that with my fiduciary responsibility to the folks of this town that I could say yes for an apartment, but I would say yes for a townhome. And I wanted to make that point clear, okay? So that's all I have, and I hope that would be part of the consideration of a townhome versus the apartment.
Thank you, Mr. Cox. Ma'am? All right, we'll get the mic over.
I need that, but my name's Grace Forehand, 311 Texoma Drive. A couple of questions. As far as that little jog in the street on Point Vista, does that get fixed, that little corner? Also, does the, can that compact thing that y'all talk about, is it covered nicely? Does it have stone around it? Or is it an unsightly looking thing?
Oh,
It's ugly, so it's covered, right? Really nice? Okay. And then, okay, so if it's at the front, it's not gonna look like an ugly dumpster. Okay. And then currently, the way it's zoned, could there be a hotel put there?
Anybody that wants to go to a hotel could come through the P&Z and the council and request that.
So currently, the way it's zoned, it could end up being a
They would
hotel.
have to go through the same measures that we're here for today in order to get that zoning changed for that.
Judy Williamson, and there was a reference that you had a 1994 project in Dallas, I believe. Do you guys still have that project?
We do.
Okay. I was just curious, that's been up for several years now. What kind of renovations and capital improvements have you done on that property? And what is your occupancy rate? Because I'd be very interested in how this is going to be maintained when it happens.
Honestly, I got the occupancy report today. We're at 97% occupancy on that particular project. On all of our projects, we're right there, 95 to 97 right now. It is in constant maintenance. There is a crew on every project that we have currently, every property, and they don't ever leave. They're always doing something. They're either painting or changing a door lock, or there's constant repairs. And then we've got professional landscape maintenance going on all the time.
I understand the general maintenance, but any capital projects that have gone on or renovations, because that property would be getting older, I would think some updates.
Right, we do that. We change out cabinets and we change out appliances. Nearly every couple of years we change out carpeting. We are currently in the process of changing and putting in all new flooring in every unit that's moving out right now. Yeah, we're always working on siding, new siding, updating siding. We've got projects in Carrollton built in 1984, which we did not build, we purchased, which at the time was a Class C. It has now moved up to a Class B upper, right below a Class A, which is pretty impressive to live in an apartment complex like that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Casey?
Okay. My name is Linda Casey. I live at 1105 Point Vista, which is, this is Point Vista?
Yes.
Okay, this is Turkeyville. So I'm right back here, right here. Mr. McCutcheon, it's a great, pleasant presentation, and I think the unit looks really nice, and you had me until this pond is going to take care of the drainage. It won't.